It seems to be a race to the right when it comes to immigration. Rishi Sunak, who you're backing for number 10, seems to be quoted in one of the papers this morning saying that he wants to put a limit on the numbers of refugees coming into the country. Well, I mean, illegal migration is one thing, actual migration is another, but refugees, you can't put a limit on that, can you?
Well, let's not forget that before a person is deemed a refugee, there is a due process of law. They're an asylum seeker first off, and then a determination is made about their status. I think it's really important that he focuses upon the fundamental definition, which is in a convention that we signed up to 70 years ago. And I think it's important as well, as he does, that we focus on enforcement of the rules. You know, I think our country is hospitable, generous and warm-hearted when it comes to refugees, as we've seen with Ukraine and other countries, but people tell me that they want the rules enforced. If people have exhausted their applications and no longer should be here, then action needs to be taken in order to deport them. Now, that's complex, but I think the ideas that Rishi's coming up with, I think, form the basis of a sensible package, incentivising other countries to take back people who've come here unlawfully, looking at enforcement, improving the way we go after those who exploit people who are here unlawfully, and also setting a target on dealing with that backlog of cases in the asylum system that takes so long to deal with and so long to process.
Being misreported then, because it does look, from all of the way I'm reading it in all of the papers today, it looks as though he actually wants a number put on the amount of legal refugees in this country. That's what it looks like.
Well, what he's proposing is a parliamentary vote every year on the number of refugees to be accepted in the UK, with, of course, an exception for emergencies such as the one we saw with Ukraine. That actually gives Parliament a big say in the process. You know, we've had lots of debates about what is a reasonable number, with Alf Dubs and others putting amendments to parliamentary bills. Why not actually make that a formality and make that a part of the process within Parliament, whereby we have this proper debate about what a reasonable number should look like?
Forgive me, I mean, I don't know, we're sort of bleating on about the 1 point here, but isn't it the convention normally around refugees, someone who is seeking refuge is given the help? Now, it's an entirely different situation when you're looking at numbers of migrants and, of course, illegal migration, but refugees are normally just welcome. They're seeking help, seeking asylum.
Well, yes, and that doesn't change, but there is a process, as I was saying, whereby people
if you're capping the numbers.
Refugee status. And yeah, but I think the important point is that involving Parliament in this decision-making makes it, I think, a much more accountable process. And also there will be exceptions, of course, for emergencies, such as the one we've seen this year. I don't think this gets away from the compassionate nature of our country. In fact, the details of Rishi's plans about getting people out of hotels and providing more beds and actually providing a much better and clearer framework for refugees and asylum seekers, it is, I think, a humane, compassionate and sensible approach to an issue that does cause concern, most notably the small boats problem and the exploitation of innocent people by criminal gangs.